Hi, my name is Anastassia of Anastassia Sel Jewelry, a collection of alternative fine jewels handmade in Canada using Canadian gold, Canadian diamonds. My journey began 6 years ago. I found myself uninspired at my 9-to-5 job in finance, and I would come into work and I knew there was something, I had a bigger purpose, I was destined for more. And I would always go to art areas in Toronto, artistic districts, fashion art. And I was so inspired by the people there, and I knew those were my humans. They had to be in my life, but I didn't know how I was going to get there. So I'd walk this one street, Queen Street West, and one day I saw a jewelry supply store, and I went in and I thought, wow, what is this? It was like, there's so many possibilities there. And I grabbed a basket and I bought a bunch of things, and I didn't know what I was buying. I just knew I needed some sort of pliers and I needed some sort of wire, maybe some beads. I went home, turned on YouTube, and just Googled how to make jewelry. And a bunch of videos came up, and I started, tweaking away at what I thought, just learning what it is this jewelry design is all about. And I remember thinking, like, this sucks. This is so hard. It's so intricate, and I just got so frustrated. I put it aside and just started to watch TV. The next day, I came back from work, feeling the same way as I always did, and I was just like, well, why not? Why not pick it up again? So I picked up my pliers and my jewels, and I started to, create. And that kind of started my obsession with jewelry design. I would take sick days. I would run home from work and just create. And at one point, I had all this jewelry, and I needed to sell it. So I went in to find markets where I can sell it. Started selling it. At those markets, I got discovered by someone that gave me an opportunity to showcase at New York Fashion Week. And once I got that experience, there was just no going back to my 9-to-5 job. There was no going back to those gray walls. And so one day I woke up and I said that this is the day that I quit. I didn't tell my parents, because my parents are influential in my life, always have been, immigrant parents. And so I just told my partner at the time that I'm quitting my job. He supported me, and I just had to do it. And I did it, and I was happy, and it was like this load lifted off my chest. So that was the start. It's been an interesting journey. There is a lot of there's just so much that you have to learn when you're running your own business. You're not only a creative person, but you're also a business person. And business, and there's with life you get so many lessons, and when you're an entrepreneur, you really feel those lessons firsthand, because you have nothing to turn to, because you're on your own. There is beauty in it and freedom, but there's also an incredible responsibility. So I'm happy where I find myself today. I feel like my line is going in the direction that I would love it, that I had dreamed for it to go. I'm now represented in multiple boutiques in Long Beach, in San Francisco, New York City, Toronto, Vancouver. And I want to continue to grow. I want to continue to study my demographic, listen to what they want, and create something that they will wear and they will cherish and love. The event was very interesting. I loved it. There were so many personalities that went through, and you always had to be on your feet. You had to adjust to all the different questions, because you never know what questions you're going to be asked. And some caught me by surprise and started to almost make me, rethink. I'm like, well, is that really what I'm trying to say? But then you remember, yes, it is. And then you just, you power through it. Amazing. So I loved it. It was an amazing opportunity to take my collection abroad. And it was, thank you TFI, and thank you Canada. Amazing. And UK, obviously. The makeup was on point, the hair was on point. I think one of the girls came out and she had this really wild hair, like tigress. That's the one that stood out. My look was really refined, so I think it reflected my brand very well. So I think it was on point. The makeup and our team were amazing.